Uy, alam mo ba?
Ayon sa research ko,
Did you know?
Updated ka ba dun sa...
FYI, ito ang kaalaman para sa kabataan. For Youth Info, the podcast.
This podcast is brought to us by the NATCO Youth Committee and the NATCO Children and Youth Team.
Hello, Kabataan, and hello, FYI listeners, and welcome back to another episode of the For Youth Info, the FYI podcast. We are now on our 21st episode, so this podcast is brought to you by NATCO Children and Youth, the youth program of the National Confederation of Cooperatives that fosters development and leadership among youth. The program is managed by NATCO Children and Youth Team in collaboration with the NATCO Youth Committee. And welcome back to For Youth Info Podcast, where conversations are raw, relevant, and made for the youth. I'm your host, Leej.
I am Carol, and for today's episode, we're stepping into a space filled with creativity, identity, courage, and a whole lot of glad. Today's episode is called Shante, You Stay, the cure art of existing. And honestly, this conversation is more than just makeup or drag. It's about self expression, survival, confidence, and existing genuinely, especially in communities where queer people often have to fight just to be seen or accepted. So today, we're talking to someone who's navigating all of that through artistry and authenticity.
You are right, Carol. Joining us today is a 24-year-old visionary from Ugao, Gubat, Sorsogon. A true force in creative spaces, is a viral micro influencer and beauty content creator whose international and local brand collaborations include Caroline, Yole Philippines, Brilliant Skin, Skintific, Eco Eyes, and Centillion 24. Off camera, they break boundaries as a creative fashion designer, beauty pageant mentor, and a drag queen, known and celebrated as Bicolandia's Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, and recognized as part of the final casting call for Drag Den Philippines Season 1 in 2021. Academically and professionally grounded, they're also a licensed professional teacher holding a bachelor's degree in secondary education, major in English, from the Lewis College, and is currently pursuing a Master of Arts in Educational Management at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Open University in Manila. They blend this strategic mind with creativity in their corporate role as a marketing coordinator for Triple Two Agri-Industrial Corporation. FYI listeners, please welcome Mix Dars Eduardo.
Lars, welcome to the FYI
So, hi
podcast.
Mix Dars.
Grabe with us today. So, kamusta naman po, Miss Lars?
I'm very much ready and excited as well to share my story and to share how we started and how I am being celebrated here.
Let's start sa beginning. Growing up in Gubat, what was your earliest memory of realizing that makeup and artistry could become a form of self-expression for you?
Well, you know what, DJ? I grew up in a very colorful family. Actually, my aunts, they used to join pageantry. So, I was really at a young age talaga, na-expose na ako sa makeup kasi they used to um do a makeup to me. Kaya that's why I ended up being this, being me. Kaya I'm very much grateful that my aunties, my aunts, they were very supportive to this passion of mine. Kaya yun, bata pa lang talaga, I think I am meant for something colorful, for something creative because of my tita na nagpapageant. And before, hindi pa talaga ako familiar what is drug, what is what industry I am entering to at when I was still young. So I'm very grateful that I have a very open-minded aunt. So yeah, so they let me explore my creativity, who truly I am, and at that young age, I was able to be celebrated by my family. However, sometimes things are not always um, anchored to what we really envision for ourselves. So there are setbacks, right? Kaya sometimes my family, especially my father, parang sometimes he used to give pieces of advice that you should be like this, you should act like this because people around here might bully you or might say something about you, about your gender or what. So at the young age, I kind of stopped pursuing this creativity, this passion of mine. So I ended up sketching, doing portraits, drawing, painting, that I know my creativity would flourish more and back when that time I was still young, so I explored different or other form of arts before I ended up being a drag queen or being a creative makeup artist or being a creative fashion designer. So yeah, and I'm very glad. Just to sum it up, I'm very glad that I have a very open minded family when I was started doing this stuff or doing this passion. So I think without them, without their influence, I wouldn't be like this.
Okay, that's so actually beautiful, Miss Dar. Some people usually only see the final glam talaga, but they don't realize na there's emotion and history behind it. So a lot of people see drug makeup just as glam only, but for many queer artists like you, Miss Lars, it's deeply more on personal, diba? So I'm gonna ask question: what emotions, stories, or experiences do you feel you communicate through your looks?
Of course, when I am doing look, I always anchored it to my very core, to myself. For example, when I'm doing creative makeup look, I always anchored it to what I am really fighting for, what I am advocating for. For example, a rainbow look for Pride Month. I used to do creative makeup looks that since in drag everything is political, so, right? So I create looks for that screams advocacy, that scream something that could influence people. And aside from that, since a literary fan like myself, I'm a fan of reading, especially mythologies. I incorporate this story from different mythologies that I used to read to any look for me to really understand your story, for me to really emulate the character that I am portraying. So for me to understand their story as well and relate it to my especially from different genres of mythologies like Greek goddesses. So I anchored it to what I am really fond of. So that's it. And aside from that is especially when like heavy emotions. So of course my look will be that dark, or when I am very happy, my look would also be that very fun and vibrant. And of course, when doing looks, I really need to study it as well. Since as an advocate, I really need to become. If I'm transforming myself, then therefore I should be that person who is very transformative as well for others. So I think that's my thing when I am creating a look, anchoring it to my advocacy, to my core, to what I really feel.
Okay, Miss Doris, dahil isa rin po kasi akong artist. Na-understand ko po kung how she represent her emotions, her advocacy para sa ating society, no? So isa rin po 'yan na nakaka-help sa society natin, lalong-lalo na ngayon dahil sa mga youth na ini-influence, ino-open natin yung ganitong way ng pag-express sa ating identity. You're both an aspiring drag makeup artist and licensed professional teacher, Miss Darius, right? So how do these two worlds connect with each other in your life naman po?
Of course, it's not really easy to navigate two things that you really love, right? So as a teacher, as a licensed professional teacher, um, I stopped doing performances, doing looks. It's when I started having my review for my board exam. So it's really a huge sacrifice kasi you really need to focus, right? You really need to give time. You really need to prepare for that new milestone that you are trying to achieve. So like for more than 7 months, I guess, I stopped doing makeup looks and just for me to be able to achieve my license. And luckily, I was able to pass my board exam. And right now, I am a licensed professional teacher. And that sacrifice, that huge leap of mine, achieving this new milestone was very worth it. And I must say that it's it's very worth it to sometimes sacrificing things that you love will end up to something really beautiful and something that would really elevate yourself to what you really dream of for yourself. And but when I was reviewing, I really miss doing makeup looks. I really miss performances. I really miss being on stage, being on spotlight, being celebrated and sharing my artistry. And somehow, little by little, there are invitations for me to perform here, to perform there. And luckily that people that very familiar with me, they were still supportive to any endeavors that they are giving to me or to any invitation and events, rockets like that. Ayun, very supportive naman din kahit I wasn't that very much active. Even yung mga brand, they were they were also supportive sa akin. They still support me. They're still collaborating with me despite of my slow presence sa SOCMED. And masaya din ako kasi people kinda missing my art, kinda missing my presence on different platforms. So ayun, super happy pa din. Kaya yun talaga, we cannot there are things talaga na hindi dapat natin na hindi talaga natin kayang pagsabayan and we really need to focus something that can help us and we know that we can always begin again, sabi nga ni Taylor Swift, right? We can always begin again.
I actually love then kung gaano kung how her perspective because our society sometimes act like professionalism lang, di ba? And cureness, hindi nag-i-exist daw. Pero mali sila. So, working at GSAC po, while pursuing your cure artistry sounds like balancing very different spaces, di ba? So, have you ever felt pressure to tone down parts of yourself has your artistry helped you become more confident in who you are?
Actually, working sa GSAC, can really feel that they're very supportive to in endeavors that they're stop pursuing. And of course, since they are very supportive, so you really need to reciprocate that energy as well. You need to really you need to work well then, of course, as your um thanks to them like that. So you really need to work, do your best sa work, and kasi nga, they're very supportive and parang as person, this my personality, kung anong energy na gini-give sa akin, and I should give that energy as the people who are supporting me, who are uplifting me, and who are celebrating with me. So ayun, maswerte ako kasi dito sa GSAC talaga, they are very inclusive. They are very supportive talaga. So, yun lang yung masasabi ko. And of course, pero somehow may pressure din talaga kasi you can do this stuff tapos hindi mo siya ma-apply sa trabaho mo. Then, you are creative. Then, at work, you need to be creative as well to what you're doing sa work. So, I think ibinabalance ko lang kung anong energy na gini-give sa akin and I will give that energy as well sa nagi-give sa akin ng energy. And ayun lang, I must say na medyo balanced din na may pressure din on my end.
So parang balance and reciprocity lang talaga pala yung key for the confidence to achieve, para ma-achieve si confidence. So, it is important naman talaga kasi parang double life siya, no? Like, double kara yung atake mo dun, ma.
Oh,
But, given, like, as someone from GSAC, very inclusive talaga ho sila, and at the same time, very respectful lahat ng empleyado po sa GSAC. So, in a smaller community, especially sa Gubat, like a very small community, ang queer community sa Gubat, na like everyone knows everyone. Queer creatives often have to carve out their own spaces. What has it been like building your identity and artistry sa Gubat pa lang na level, in Gubat?
yun nga sabi mo DJ, everyone knows everyone here, right? Talagang maliit lang talagang space natin here, magkakilala tayo of friends. On my end naman, I've said that a moment ago, nag-explore ako ng different arts, right? For drawing, painting, visual arts na may medium na yung medium is canvas. So ako naman, there's always a thing in me like na I really need to be different. I really need to, parang I usually don't conform to what is the norm here. Like parang I need to set as well my own standard for myself, right? So I decided to explore this art, to explore the arts of makeup artistry, of the creative makeup world. So luckily that it really resonated to me very well. Kaya yun, I continue to pursue this art. I continue to explore. I blended being a drag queen, being creative makeup artist, being creative fashion designer. So ayun, yung ano lang, ang contrary regarding that is there are no spaces for us to here, especially here in Gubat, for us to really showcase our talent, to really amplify what is the drug industry, what is this drug queen, what is this stuff, what is this, what's the drug scene. Kasi there are no bars here actually sa Gubat that open for performances for a drag queen. And I really do hope that one day I could be pioneer that drug scene or the drug industry here sa Gubat. Kasi mostly I get invitation only from schools. Luckily, may mga schools that are inviting you to perform around Sorsogon. There are also malls that are very open for drag queens, and that's a great thing na little by little the drug scene here in the region is getting recognized, getting alive and being celebrated just like how the other arts being celebrated. And hopefully dito sa Gubat naman, it could be celebrated like what other arts, what other scene are being celebrated here in our town. And hopefully I could pioneer that. So sana nga
Actually,
may mga platforms na here sa Gubat for us to really showcase new talents, new performances, and new art or new culture kumbaga. Hindi lang tayo ma-box in one culture. Like, you need to pageants, you need to do this, you really need to act like this, like that. So, I hope we could be more diverse and more beautiful, and we could be able to celebrate different forms of performing arts.
that is very true. Like, growing up sa Gubat, I know na some are like, nag-stick talaga siya sa normity. Like, like, let's bring the pageant stuff. Like, yun yung like most or common na way of representation for them. But little did they know that a form of representation sa queerness, nag-evolve na siya. Like, another form dyan is si drag. Like, and to be fair, ikaw naman talaga ang nag-pioneer ng ng creative makeup sa gubat. Kasi let's say madami talagang batikan ng mga magagaling mag-makeup sa gubat, 'di ba? Mixed stars. Madami talagang mga magagaling ng mga taga-gubat na mag-makeup. But if i-compare mo kasi dyan, Carol, sa Cebu, na very liberated na may mga bars talaga for drag queens rather, dito sa Gubat, zero pa. So, gets ko yung part na. And nakakagulat rin yun. And like, very proud moment din na you get invited sa mga simple sa malls, performing as Taylor Swift, right? So, yeah, that's so good.
Napakaganda talaga. So, kasi pageantero din kasi ako, kaya nakaka-relate talaga ako kay Star na I think isang representation nagmamatter rin talaga kung paano mo ibabahagi sa iba naman. Kaya seeing someone like you, Miss Stars, is such a good example para rin sa others na ma-express rin nila confidently na di dapat sila ma matakot. Pero it's still valid, but you're the one who inspires them na dapat they should like i-look up kanila na maging ganito rin na confidently na magiging star 9 sa GISA. Drag and queer artistry often challenge traditional ideas of masculinity, beauty, and identity. So, what conversations do you hope for your art sparks when people see your work?
I believe it will boil down only to the acceptance of the norms of the current norms here in our society, that they should not really focus more on femininity, more on masculinity, but rather we should focus on how we see each other, or how we really appreciate other people the way, just being the way they are, and really should not label them as stuff like this or things that they are being themselves. So yun lang yung masasabi ko. Like, I am a drag queen, then you should see me as a drag queen, not really to label me stuff like this or stuff like that. We really just wanted to be accepted, to be celebrated, just like how other people being celebrated in our day-to-day daily basis, like that. So ayun, that's what I really want to anchor to our community, to our society, that we are diverse. We are different from one another, and what we really need to do is to just be to have a really open mind for us to see that they're just a person. They're just people na, yeah, that you can talk with, or you can hang out with, without really navigating their inner personality or stuff like that, or their core. Kasi it's very offensive kung sabihin mo na mataba ka na, ganito ka pa, ganyan bakla ka na, you say it in front of him, or to say it to other people. It's really offensive. Yun yung gusto ko lang is we could be celebrate natin ang one another without really anchoring into the norms we have, but really need to create a norms of acceptance, norms of celebrating all forms of all spectrum of human, like that, or the norms of celebrating one another without really questioning who they.
Yeah, true. Kasi like as an avid watcher na lang, or like taga-subaybay lang din ng drag, like mga drag shows lang, pero not wala pa akong napapanood na like live. As far as I know, ang take ko sa drag queens are like a drag artist and the drag queen itself are like two different entities. So parang if they have this form of a persona na ibang tao na sila when they're wearing it all. Like of course it's a process, diba? Like the lashes, the brows, like, parang yung aalisin yung eyebrows, ganyan, mga simple na ganyan. And yun naman yung point kasi ni drag is mag-create ka ng bagong identity na like far from norms, far from sa normal masculine. Ano kasi, like, given, you won't expect, there's so many sa show, sa drag, like sa RuPaul's Drag Race na, let's say for example sa RuPaul's Drag Race, madami dyan like very different na very masculine ha. But in drag is so beautiful. Like, right? Ganun, di ba? Mixed stars. But that's powerful what you said, because sometimes simply existing openly already becomes an act of resistance. Existing as your true self can already challenge the stereotypes. And yeah, I feel like yun yung nag-transcend sa akin dun sa sinabi mo. Was there ever a moment when someone's reaction to your makeup or drag artistry made you realize, okay, this really matters? Like, parang napaano ka, napa-doubt ka ba? Ganun.
You know what, DJ? Of course, there are comments that will really pull you down, right? Talaga, we cannot really resist from that comments or from that energy that people are giving. Of course, sometimes physically, when they targeted me physically, I tend to be kind of really affected. However, I used to it as, likewise, this may sound cliche, as my form of leveling up my personality, that I need to fight this not really stigma. I need to fight their comments in a way that I am not affecting other people, but in such a way that I am opening their mind that it's normal, it's fine like this, or you can be the person who you want to be without referring to what other people saying. Kasi drug art or in generally this form of art, it's amplifying causes, it's amplifying advocacies that are anchored to our core. So we shouldn't really be affected by those comments or those negative energy that people giving to you, because at the very first, why are you doing this? Bakit mo ginagawa ang drug? Why you really need to let the people around you see this art? So hindi talaga ako nagpapa-affect. Like, wala namang nanonood sa'yo and stuff like that. Wala namang magsusupport sa'yo. So, sabi ko nga, I would always go back to the question why I am doing this. So, kahit may mga negative comments, I always ask myself why I'm doing this. Why I really need to continue to pursue this. So, kaya nga dito sa Gubat, since it's, hindi pa talaga siya gaano ka-celebrated, in a means that I know that I could amplify this art, I'm doing my best actually to really amplify and to make this form of art being celebrated kahit may mga negative comments. So, ayun, deadma lang, gano'n. Deadma lang.
So that's honestly one of the most meaningful things na nagagawa as a drag queen, di ba? So, kaya we shouldn't mind with the opinion of others na lang talaga. No? Kasi reminding us na artistry is not just only about aesthetics. Yeah, it's also about connections with the people. Many queer artists use creativity as both survival and celebration. So, would you say makeup became more of an escape, a voice, or a form of empowerment for you, and why?
Makeup, it became my way of expressing myself. It became my way of identifying my passion. It bridges me to really know myself more. So I believe that this art or this drag art, the thing that I am doing had really helped me or elevated me to the person that I am now today. And I am very grateful that I was able to anchor my personality to this very colorful, to this very vibrant form of arts, or this form of expression. It's more than just an art, but it's really it became a bridge for me to connect myself to who truly I am.
I feel like that journey resonates with so many people, even outside peer spaces. Kasi everyone wants a space where they feel free to become themselves, you know? So next, like, pwede ko ata ito magamit na term for you as a provincial queen. Yeah. For young people listening to this podcast, especially from those na nasa provincial areas, as a provincial queen, who may still be afraid to express themselves, what would you want them to hear from someone who's navigating that same journey?
Of course, in our place talaga here in Sorsogon, we're very secluded. We are very traditional, right? Talagang it's very hard for us to navigate things that we really want because there are hindrances or there are setbacks that won't allow us to pursue what we really want, pursue what we want for us for ourselves to navigate. So my advice for young queen like me or for aspiring drag queens, makeup artists, like you really need to define first who you are. You really need to find what you're passionate about. So, as I've said, here in Sorsogon, we are very secluded. We are in a very backward fun of something like that. And we are still embracing the new normal or the new changes that is happening in our society or in a bigger city or in a bigger province. And there are instances that people from our province as a provincial pin that would really mock us or will say something negative or will hinder you or they are your common setbacks. So my advice for young people who really want to pursue what they really wanted to be in life or what they really wanted to be as a person is that it takes time for you to discover what you really want. It will take you a time as well for you to really unlock your full potential to the things you really wanted to achieve. And it will take a lot of roads for you to navigate before achieving the persona that you really wanted to be. So have the courage to define the ads in your area or the ads that hinders your progress or in discovering and navigating yourself and have the strength and always ask yourself why you really wanted to be this person. Always remind yourself that you are doing this not just simply being celebrated, but you're creating something that could inspire as well, that could inspire other people as well. So you really need to anchor it if you really wanted to achieve something great things for yourself to something that truly anchored to your personality. So ayun lang. And hopefully, Sorsogon, we could be able to celebrate na talaga different forms of arts, not just the common arts that we really used to.
Okay, so that was all honestly comforting to hear, Miss Dars. That is very needed to, especially sa mga young listeners natin today na nafe-feel nila na parang isolated sila. Looking ahead, what kind of legacy or impact do you hope to leave? Not just as a makeup artist, but as a queer creative and educator from Source of Good.
As an educator, someone working in different industry as well, and as a drag queen or as an artist, I really do hope that my lasting legacy or lasting impact in my town or here in Sorsogon would be that to pioneer an art that celebrate different people, an art that celebrate talents, an art that celebrate who you are, and an art that celebrate the enthusiasm of people on what they really wanted to be in life. And yun lang naman talaga ang gusto ko na ma-open ang ganitong arts that celebrate who you are. That really empowers and uplift young talents, that uplift people. Ayun, that we are being seen, we are being celebrated without any negativity that surrounds us. I believe that Sorsogon is ready, but we really need more people and an ally to achieve this legacy.
I fear I can attest. Because, like, as someone parang nagasubaybay na lang sa journey ni Nick Dars, like, like as a friend, like acquaintance since high school, napansin ko, ibang level talaga yung pag-grow mo as an artist and like very influential ha, na it's so good na all throughout, ang napansin ko sa ano natin, sa podcast natin ngayon, this is just so, chill and at the same time, wala man tayo like super big na pinapaglaban at this point. But the essence of someone here as a representation, lalo na sa co-op, I mean, sa NATCO, I'm just happy na there's a touch of queerness na nandito sa NATCO. And I hope na kahit di drag, kahit hindi Pride special yung atake ni anak ko, maka-invite sana kami ng more people related sa artistry na ito. So, thank you so much for today, Mixstars. So, reflection is the term identity and resistance because yun yung parang naging form ni art. So, listening sa story ni Mixstars, nung pig-share niya yung journey niya as a queer creative sa small town namin sa Gubat, it showed me that makeup and drag are not just about the appearance. They are deeply connected to yung self-confidence, yung storytelling, and of course, self-acceptance, as they said earlier. So, of course, I admire how you, Mixstars, continue to embrace the authenticity. So kasi despite dun sa mga pinagsasabi-sabi mo na may mga setbacks nga, yung pressure and given na maliit lang talaga si Gubat. So di pa yan ganun kakilala na art na yan. Ang conversation na to nag-remind siya sa akin na ang representation, nag-matter pa rin siya kahit naiisa ka lang. So yun yung isa pa sa mga takeaway ko for today. Kasi simply being someone na nag-live openly, like sa atin, syempre sa Gubat, like, mabibilang ba natin na may mga other drag queens sa Gubat or ikaw lang talaga? Parang wala pa, no? Parang ikaw pa lang talaga. Nakaka-inspire kasi talaga siya. And overall, basta, this podcast is a very meaningful reminder that everyone deserves the freedom and safe space to express who they truly are. So how about you, Carol?
Okay, so my turn naman for my reflection. No? So, this podcast na we had today, parang nang naging ako, viewer na rin ako sa podcast natin. Dahil marami akong natuto dahil kay Stars. So, dahil self-expression is more than just showing your makeup, activity, kasi it's also about having the courage para embrace mo kung sino ka talaga. So, despite of the judgment and challenges na napagdaanan ni Miss Stars, no, sa pakikinig ko sa story mo, it inspired me na dahil kino-show niya kung gaano siya ka-authentic sa sarili niya, kung gaano siya ka-confident, and passionate dahil kung passionate ka sa ginagawa para sa sarili mo. Hindi dahil para sa ibang tao, dahil para sa sarili mo, i-show mo kung bakit mo ito ginagawa. Diba? So, our passion can empower talaga, not only para sa sarili, but also para rin maka-inspire to others na ganito, ganyan. So, overall, this conversation reminded me na representation really, really matters. And that creating spaces where people mafe-feel nila na accepted and understood can make a meaningful impact on others. So, yeah. Thank you, Miss Dars, for your story, no? Nakaka-inspire po talaga.
Thank you, Mixstars, for sharing your heart and your story with us today. And that wraps up another episode for Youth Info Podcast. Today's conversation reminded us that queer artistry is more than aesthetics. It's identity, courage, and healing and visibility. This has been episode 21 of the FYI podcast, Shantae Say, the Queer Art of Existing. So, Mixstars, thank you so much.
So, once again, thank you so much for inviting me to share my words, for allowing me to express my what I'm advocating for. And hopefully there will be more shows. And this coming June 17 to 19, I'll be having my competition in World Trade Center and hopefully could win and sana may support. Luckily, merong this is a support na din. So ayun, I'm very thankful. I really need sponsors right now. Charing. No, kidding, jokes aside, I'm very much thankful for inviting me to be here. And you can follow me on my social medias on TikTok, Darius Ibardo, on Instagram at Darius Ibardo, and Facebook, Darius Ibardo. And hopefully I could see you all in next episodes or or what. Just, ayun po. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
To everyone listening, especially young people still learning how to navigate who they are, we hope this episode reminds you that there's space for your voice, your creativity, and your truth. Join us again next time for more conversations that empower, inspire, and connect the youth.
This is the For Youth Info podcast, kaalaman para sa kabataan.